Hi, I'm Karen, and I'm an intuitive consultant. I work with people around the world from my home base, which is in Nelson, British Columbia, Canada. And Nelson is on unceded Sinixt territory, who are the First Nations people of this land. From the time I was very young, the youngest memories that I have are probably from being 2, 3 years old. I remember talking to people who weren't in physical form, but I didn't realize that they were dead. I call them the so-called dead because to me they were very real. And I recognize that Indigenous cultures from around the world, all of them have some form of ancestral worship. That really hits home for me because of my experience with my own family and the things that I was able to see through my inner eye and experience. I got a lot of information, help, support, guidance from people who have passed to the other side, and a special kind of deep relationship with my own ancestors that's changed the shape of the relationships in the family members who are alive now. Although not all of them know that, but I do. If you're familiar with family constellation work or the concept of a morphogenetic field, you might have some background or some understanding of intergenerational trauma. So briefly, the idea is that when there's trauma somewhere in the family, and it can go back generation after generation, and have not ever been resolved, just because somebody dies doesn't mean that things go away. Fast track to modern day times, what happens is that we have a symptom and we medicate. We make the symptom go away. We don't have the depth of understanding of the relationships with our ancestors, and that what's active for them is still living in the field in us, so that it can be brought to peace. Many people are becoming aware that in family constellation work or multi-generational trauma work, there is a way to actually tap into the sense of what that trauma is and bring some healing to the person in the present. And it's the belief and experience that when that happens, the peace and the harmony that's reestablished actually goes back through the generations, so it's healing an ancestral line, and that it's passed forward so that future generations won't manifest the same dynamics coming up. Our ancestors often will show up in sessions at the beginning of a session to help bring attention to that which has not been put to peace, that's still alive in the family field, so that it can be addressed first. And I love it when that happens because I feel like people will often notice that the effects ripple out to other family members after we do one of these sessions, and the other family members won't even know that we've worked on a family issue, but the person will be able to reflect back certain changes that happened that they believe were a result of the deeper work we did within the family system. I've experienced that doing work within my own family and my own ancestors. It's been phenomenal. Ancestral worship plays a very key and important role in Indigenous communities and cultures that we in North America in particular, or Western Europe maybe, don't have a connection with. And that's a key piece that often comes up at the beginning of a session to heal, so that we can move on to the person's individual issues and blockages and what wants to come and be birthed into the world through them, and how to create the opening for that to happen. So I give honor to the Sinixt people of this land, and I have great gratitude for my own ancestors who have taught me so much. And to all of the so-called dead, thank you for your loving support and your patience for waiting for us to acknowledge you.